Hello folks, welcome back to the channel. My name is Joel Duggan, if you have not figured that out already with the name on the channel and the name on the tin, as it were. We are back in Minecraft again today. We are going to be working on the Riverbanks, kind of picking up where we left off yesterday. And I want to work on the bee farm, I think, the apiary a little bit. There, not so much the farm, but like the retaining wall around it, kind of give it a perimeter, give ourselves some bounds to work within. And check out like what our plans are going to be for that. We might put up a rough structure, kind of get the height of it, maybe pick out some blocks that we're going to use. I do know that I want to try to use either bees, probably it's going to be hard to use bee nests because we want the bees to be in the hives. So as cool as it would be to have the bee nests as part of the roof, maybe, it might be a little bit tricky. I do want it to be yellow in a way. So we're probably going to go with like birch wood or something. So we'll figure that out when the time comes. We could also use some bamboo. But that's it. That's the basic plan for the day. If you are part of the Spawn Chunks community, we recorded our quarterly hangout this morning. That's where Johnny and I go over the numbers for the podcast. So downloads, YouTube numbers, all that kind of stuff. So if you're curious about that, it did happen this morning live in the Discord, and it'll be coming out either later today or tomorrow, depending on when Johnny has a chance to edit it. And then I'll publish it on the Patreon page. So only our patrons get a chance to listen to it, but it's a great way for us to keep our patrons, the people that are supporting the show financially, informed about how the show's doing, what our plans are for the future, how we're going to change things, like that kind of stuff. So if you're into podcasting or if you want to know behind the scenes, then check that out. Patreon.com/thespawnchunks is where you can go to support the show. And same for me, actually, if you want to support the kind of things that I do. And I actually am coming up on doing behind the scenes quarterly for myself as well. I don't hit all 4 quarters of the year because usually there's not enough change to warrant it. But for the Twitch channel, for the YouTube channel, for the kind of things I do behind the scenes on the Patreon, I do like to put out some stuff on Patreon. Now, I don't do it just for patrons. I do it in my Discord. So if you're a member of the Discord via Patreon, the Citadel Cafe Patreon, or Twitch here as a subscriber, then you'll have access to that behind the scenes when I talk about my plans for the channel and new emotes that I'm working on, like that kind of thing. So that's coming up. Just keep an eye on it. I just have to figure out when I'm going to be doing it. So here we are. I can hear the spiders crawling around outside, so I need to sleep before we go anywhere. Inventory is still full of all the things that we were working with yesterday, so it should be pretty easy to pick back up where we left off. I'm not hearing anybody burning outside, so that's good. That means there's probably not too much happening. It's just a spider kicking around somewhere. I will take the extra string. Some zombies. So this is the bee farm, where it is going to be. That's roughly where the house is going to go. This is where the beehives are going to go. I think we're going to have more of them. Like, I think we're going to try to fill this out. There's going to be a path probably going that way. So I've got to figure that out as well. But where we left off yesterday was around here with this wall that was going down there. And I think the idea was I didn't want the wall to be up here, because if it was up here, it would block the view of the river. So by putting the wall down there, it has a little bit more of a gate feel here. But we need to make some changes, I think, to the actual wall. So we're going to change out our inventory a little bit. I might keep those on me for now. So we're going to switch over to get some stone, probably mossy cobble, slabs, stairs, walls. Same thing here, walls, slabs, stairs. Thanks for the follows. We've got Willie, Cheese, and non cream 69. Sorry, don't know exactly what non CE cream. I don't know. I find drop caps help with usernames. Mosaic Dream, hello, hello. Don't need those. All right. Looks like we've got spam messages. Awesome. Sorry, I've got to work out some stuff here in chat. That's one person gone. Anybody else want to test my patience? Blum FFM. Hello, welcome in. How'd you find the stream? Sorry you're coming in as I have to swing the ban hammer at some bot being stupid. I don't know. This looks like it's mostly cobble, but I don't know what I did with the wall. The wall around the abandoned farm, I think, is all... Oh no, okay. I've got some tough bricks in there too. Okay. I think my mods are all out at the moment, Mosaic Dream. I should look into, see the problem is like you have to be able to pronounce the name, and sometimes saying the name out loud, it's why when something seems fishy to me, it's why I don't tend to read it directly, because it tends to be like a way for you to read a word or read a name by just having it in the username. So I have to do it manually, because I think with StreamerBot I can give like voice commands. Like I feel like I could say ban certain name if I had it set up, and it would just do it, which would be awesome. But I don't text to speech stuff. Like there's too high of a risk of error, you know. I don't have any bricks out here. Maybe we'll just make a couple. I saw in the new Vibrant Visuals video on YouTube that they want to make the they want to give Tough a shine to it, Tough Bricks specifically. I'm not sure how I'm feeling about them assigning new new material reflections. Like you're gonna have to make more choices based on how reflective something is, which I guess is fine. It's just that it'll be a change for people. That should probably be a stair. I guess I haven't really looked that hard. I like... Oh yeah, the shape of the wall is fine. It's just the final texture we have to worry about. I don't know whether the cobblestone is boring. I guess it's okay for there. Oh, not that. So I was thinking it would be good to have at least a slab. If we go up too high, then it blocks the view. So we have to kind of stay relatively low. And I feel like at this point, once we get past these bushes, we can start to do it from the other side. We could almost go with the stair here. Let's try that, see what it looks like. Yeah, I think that looks a little bit better. Oh, that doesn't connect. Maybe if this was moss, not moss, regular. Lost the light. Oh, you've been around since the beginning of the Citadel? Wow, so you've been hanging around for 4 years and this is the first time you've said something in chat? That's amazing. Thanks very much, Bluff. Hey, Alistair McFly, lurking. Yeah, the first half of his name is a British term you wouldn't want to say out loud. Talk about the person that I banned, Alistair? Thank you for the heads up. Also, thanks for the lurk. Ah, cool. Thanks, man. Wash your 1010heimer. Hello, hello. Welcome in. Happy, good to see you. I feel like maybe we can go full bricks there. Nothing seems to work. I think I've got it right. We'll just switch them. Yeah, that works out a little bit better. So here, I think what I'm going to do is just pop along here and randomly throw in some tough. We can always change this later. That's pretty good. Wouldn't mind this being maybe a mossy slab as well. And we'll switch these up. Yeah. Dan, resubscribing 51 months. That's amazing. Thanks so much, Dan. Thanks for the tier 1. Wash Your Tent on Hammer says, I don't get to watch the stream very often, but I have heard all about your projects from listening to the Spawn Chunks. That's awesome. Really appreciate it. Feel like we've got a couple of new people in chat. So here's a quick kind of top down of where we are. So there's Westill over there. And then we're working along the river the last couple of days. We've been kind of snaking in through here. And last week we did this orchard along the back here, which I think looks pretty good. Feels very lifelike. And one of the bees from the farm actually is consistently going over the barn and flying over here to get nectar, which is funny. We might have to rethink this path. I feel like that turned a bunch of stuff into stone that, or into moss that wasn't already there. Trying to think about how this looks from up here. I think I might have to shave some of these off a little bit. Yeah. The orchard there also explains why the river has to bend around it. The roots kept that section from washing away. Oh, that's a cool idea. I never thought about that. That's just how Minecraft naturally had the had the terrain. The river just naturally made this really weird wide bend. I think honestly it was one of those parts where the river went down to like just a few blocks and then went around the corner and then got deeper again. And I carved it out. The river was not that smooth. Like the rivers in this area tended to look like this, you know, like they tended to have like these little patches. But you can see like where I stopped, smoothing things out. Usually because you can still see the sand underneath them. Again, you can sort of see where I stopped smoothing things out. But we've done all the rivers that are within kind of like your eyeballs have all been smoothed out through here. But then of course, like there's one that hasn't been, right? So I feel like this area here was more like this, right? Like it was more patchy, and I just kind of like made it flow. J. Chris, hello. You remember the riverscaping? Yeah. Near infinite resources and you still pick up every block? Yeah. But that's why I have near infinite resources. That's why I never have to look for it. So I feel like we're going to want it low here. Maybe we'll have it crumble a bit. Oh, I already had some. That's better. I don't think I want to do a slab there. Guess I could. If I do that, I probably want to add in a couple bits of dirt. So the idea is that from whatever view, I want this waterfall to be visible, so I don't want this to be too high down here. That works. So now that we're kind of away from the waterfall, but I feel like we can start to go back up. That feels really dark. I bet you it's a thunderstorm. Nope, I guess not. I feel like some of these top ones are better off as cobblestone. Yeah. Do you find it tricky sometimes? You don't want to put moss carpet next to the pressure plates because it tends to remove the, I guess, illusion of that adding some depth. Feel like that's still okay though. Get to the point where I can start to see the final vision for things. Thanks for the lurk. Wash your 10-ton hammer. Appreciate it. Do people just call you Hammer, by the way? Oh yeah, the floating electrobug. Drives me nuts. Sometimes I don't even notice it anymore. If I'm working in the water, I notice it, that's for sure. Oh, crap. It feels pretty good. I might want to break this down a little bit more. Just to kind of break it up a bit. I don't know actually if at this point it would be cool to have like a slab here. Not really. Maybe a stair might work. Maybe we do a slab here. Yeah, I think I like that. The floating electrobug. No, it's been in the game for a while. It's what happens when you, like if you just jump into the water. Like I can't, I'm not swimming right now. I'm not vertical, like I'm in flight mode. So until I hit the bottom, like I could technically take off. Right? Which is fun in some ways, but when you're working in the water and you can't get vertical, like it restricts your movement. And if you're up on the surface, you tend to like skip along like a rock. So if you're doing like river work where you're like in the water, I would suggest taking your elytra off. Yeah, I think the idea was that they tried to get rid of it, but then that also got rid of the elytra hop that people like to do, which I never do, so it didn't bother me. But there's a lot of community pushback on removing the elytra hop, so as a result, the elytra skipping in the water is back. So, or didn't get patched out. Well, I can't see anything in the rain. So one downside of shaders, and again, a good way, it's more realistic, but sometimes when you're building, it's hard to see what's up. I think a couple of these could be ferns. Whoops. Looks pretty good coming down the hill here. I think we'll just switch out this for moss. These bushes tend to work really well in the corners, although I don't want to overdo it. I think that's pretty good. We're not hiding too much of the wall. Dead Noob Gaming, hello. Bedrock doesn't have this quote-unquote feature, which actually makes taking off from water a lot more difficult. It's a difficult balance. Yeah, that makes sense. Is that shaders making your water look so good, or is it a mod? It is shaders. We are currently working with... Actually, what is it? It's H? No. What's the K? Is it O? Yes. Complementary reimagined 5.5.1. I think there's probably a newer one out. Let me just check. I'd imagine there'll be a new one coming out next week or close to it. Versions. Nope, 5.5.1, 2 months ago, most recent one. Here is the link in chat. It's really cool to see the bees flying around, although he tends to get stuck. He always makes the same mistake. The hives are there, and he goes all the way over there. Rather than sticking with the crops, which I find very strange. I'm not sure why he doesn't fertilize the stuff right in front of him, but whatever. MindTripMedia with 100 bits. Thanks very much. Appreciate that. I feel like at some point I'm going to want a bush along here, like a proper leaf block bush. And if I come over here... I would say probably about there. Yeah, so we'll do it here, I guess. Actually, probably do a little bit better than that. I think these are azalea bushes, yeah. I'll be careful not to get too crazy here, because I think I want to finish the house before I start working too much up here. But this just feels like a thing we can break up a bit. Nicholas Chenry with the tier 1 sub. Thanks very much, Nicholas. Cheers. If you haven't already, you can connect your Discord and your Twitch accounts, and you can join the Joel Duggan Discord now. Whoops. I'm mostly building from up here because this is where we're going to be looking at this from. So. We're almost done this part. I feel like this could probably be filled in with some bushes too. Sometimes you get bad luck and things don't look quite the way that you want them to. In terms of like those not going in the middle of blocks. Oops, stuck. Finally updated to the version we're on the server and was surprised at how much mods were up to date and nothing seems to be broken. Didn't give any errors upon launch. Yeah, I noticed that too, Alistair, when I updated mine as well. It does feel like these latest couple of versions of Minecraft has made it easier for modders to get up to speed. I always find it hard to look at these bushes first thing in the morning because they look like they're so out of place, but as the sun gets higher, they blend in a lot better. Just a shader feature, I guess. feel like I want to try to find something else to go here. I want something that's in between brown and green. I guess maybe spruce. Anybody know of a block that's in between brown and green in this game? It's not bad. Yeah, I guess that's okay. Kind of wanted to look like maybe not necessarily a footpath, but certainly like the wall has slid down or crumbled or is failing to hold back the wall or the earth rather. It's not retaining. Don't know why I have 64 buttons. I feel like that was probably a mistake. Oh, speaking of between brown and green, do this. Maybe I'll do that here instead. That's a good way to do it. Oh, I meant to put that. I meant to put that here. Yeah, I think that works. Maybe we'll move this one. More rain. It's like every 10 minutes. That's pretty cool. Feel like the button should be a little bit closer maybe. Just a little bit of a patch over here. Cool. Might as well top some of these up. I wish we had mossy tuff. That would be cool too. Need more of those. Gonna make some paths. Fill up on grass so fast. Sunnybrook1, hello. Thanks for the lurk. I've got Billy Myers' Kiss the Rain in my head, but with the lyrics, "This is the rain." Nice, Alistair. Oh, that's great. Simply Clover, hello. How's it going? Thanks for the reminder, Dan. Appreciate it. It's actually a good spot because it's raining and I have to wait another couple of minutes before I can sleep. So, folks, I take a break about once an hour, and I've been live for about that time. So we're going to just pop into the house, and I'm going to AFK while I grab another drink. You should too. Grab a snack, grab a friend. We're trying to increase the number of people that are watching. So if you want to tell someone that we're live and invite them to come hang out, please do. I'll be right back. All right. Everything is on fire. I'll take the extra XP. Why not? Any other friends? I keep on mistaking that for a creeper. I think we're good. All right, so I think there's going to be one more bush or two added down here. Probably like right there. So I'll focus on like the key elements here first. Yeah, that adds some visual interest. Actually, you know what? Maybe this will just be moss with grass or bush. Yeah. So we did all moss over there. We did a mix of stuff here. I don't think we're going to do a lot of the too tall grass. We might. If I start doing too tall grass and ferns along here, does it really obscure the view, I wonder? Because that's what we don't want. I think we could have a few. I don't think I want it that dense. I certainly don't want it up here. I feel like that's going to be, yeah, that touches the other side in terms of the visual range. So I feel like we can maybe sparingly put in a couple, maybe in the corners and stuff. Even then. Yeah, that's okay. If that works. There already is a carpet there. Whoops. Yep, that works too. Looks nice from here as well. Really don't have a lot of room down here. I feel like I need to... We can't really make this any like more gradual. Yeah, that'll be okay. I think that works. That's a little bit better. Maybe we could add in a little bit of structure. Oh, I don't have my wood boxes out here. That's fine. Can worry about that later. And I don't know about this. Oh, that's a slab. So I'm going to continue the tuff down under the ground, and then I'm going to add in coarse dirt slab. I'm so used to these now, I forget that they're not in the game. They're a data pack, texture pack. Cool. All right, where are we here? Another bush, I guess? Let's see if there's a spot. Go to the other kind of look off points. See if there's anything that stands out. Something here, I think. Yeah, right there. Looks pretty good. Yeah. the only part about having these nice path blocks is that you can't put any grass on them. I almost want to have this be cut back here. Yeah, that's better. I feel like we could add a couple more moss blocks here. Sure. Maybe we'll go with a fern in here. There was a glitch a while ago on Bedrock that you could put torches on path blocks. Interesting. That's the kind of thing that would be neat if it gave you like a little dirt, like pixelated thing in the middle. That would be fun. I know what I'm missing. I want a couple of slabs. Yeah, that helps a bit. Yeah. Looking good. So we're almost there. It's a slightly empty patch here. Maybe some extra moss along here. Yeah. Did I do a lot of this down here? I think I did. Almost every block. You try not to overdo it. Scoopy, thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. So here is where we might want to start to bleed out into slightly different height. Like from here, we can bone meal a few of these. Oh, I can't put grass there. See, it sort of comes down a little bit. I'd say that's pretty good. I feel like this still sticks out a bit. Maybe this needs to be a bush. Yeah, that's better. Feels very full from that point. I think I'm good like that. Yeah. I think we might get to check something off. It's not letting you join the Discord. Try later when you get home. Reckon my accounts aren't linked. Yeah, so it's what you do is you link your Twitch and your Discord. Is there a, I can probably do it in the chat. I think it's just bang Discord. That's a link to an article that explains how to link your Twitch and your Discord accounts. And once they're linked, just look for the Joel Duggan Discord in your connections options in Discord. So it's not, you don't get an auto invite. You have to go manually come in. That's how. Cool. No problem, Nicholas. And thanks again for the tier 1. Really appreciate it. So look again in the daylight here. Yeah, that looks great. It takes time, but I feel like it's worth it in the long run. Very cool. So I think that might be something we can check off in the book. Spruce River, Spruce Riverbanks, East Riverbank, West Riverbank. That's the West Riverbank. That is not done. But if we go back here, I think if we cruise along, I wish there was something I could do to slow the camera for this camera mod. I can permanently slow it, but I wish there was a key to like make it slow. So this is the east side. Obviously all of this is done. That's all done. This is what we did yesterday. These came out really well, actually. That's all finished through there. Oh, can't check it off. We got to do the cliff. I was getting hopeful there. I feel like we could probably add in some grass along here too. This feels a little bit empty. We're not quite done. Forward is a lot faster than sideways as well. So we're not quite able to check it off. We've got some stuff over here we need to do. All right, it was close. I had high hopes. I don't know if we're going to need all this. We'll find out. Gamer Red 25, hello, welcome in. So I may not use too much tuff in the wall, or in the cliff, because I don't want it to be confused with the wall. But I do want to have something down here, and this is where we're going to take off the elytra. I'm thinking we might go with andesite down here. I feel like we could maybe even pop this open. Have a little bit of a ridge in the middle here. I may want to cover that up just so it doesn't get spawns on it. Right, so that feels a little bit strange. I have to maybe come in here. There's no other really way to block that. Guess I could put a button on it. And this is not anything people are going to see. It's just sometimes the completionist in me just kind of takes over. Oh, you know what? We can do a stair here. There we go. Could maybe do a stair in both places. Yeah, I think I like the look of that better. I do like the way that andesite sort of shines, and the way that the water is in this pack is really cool. I'm assuming you're using andesite to suggest the water rubbing up against the rock surface. Yeah, either erosion or reflection or just wet in general. I find that it makes a nice difference. I've also done this in a lot of other places. Like I feel like it's a thing I've done around. Maybe not over here, but lots of andesite here near the water. And also I've kind of created this pattern along the wall. You can also use it in the opposite way. It's very shiny, so if you put andesite on the top of a wall, it tends to be pretty shiny looking. All of those efforts are really good for when you're not running shaders, because then your shaders really feel, or you're like your game feels like you're manufacturing light, which is nice. Gamer Red, debating on downgrading from 1.21 to 1.20. Just so that Way 1 mod use is an alpha. I mean, make up a backup of your world, but I mean, if you want to stay on 1.20, what's the mod that you're using?
Out of sight. We're working in the area it's just far enough away in a river to be a pain in the butt when you're going to come back for stuff. I think that's pretty good. Whoops. Now, as far as the top goes, I feel like we've done a pretty good job. I might want to come in here and try something. Yes, but lower. Maybe even lower. Yeah. It's definitely a pain in the butt to be in the water all the time. Oh. That feels pretty good. We might put a stair here instead. Yeah. Man, I'm still getting some bobbing errors and stuff. It's a little bit more dynamic. Shadows really add to it. I don't think I want to add anything over here. Could maybe add a little bit of a twist over this way. Yeah, that's not bad. How does everything look from up here? That's fine. I feel like those are all at the same level, but I don't know if there's much I can do about that. I guess I could move this one up. Whoops. It blends a little bit better. Cool. Yeah, that's better than it was before, for sure. I don't think there's any other spots up top for me to add like an extra plant hanging off. Not really. Don't think that these are going to look good. I'm going to try one or two just to see. Thinking in like, I don't know, maybe this kind of a space. No, too harsh of a line. Could maybe sneak it in down here. Not my favorite. If the whole thing was like that, it'd be okay. Nice. Sussy Skittles, hello, welcome back. Alistair, this reminds me of the lands we had early days of the server where the chunks between Spawn and Dartmouth Meadows were an absolute mess. Oh, yeah. Yep. Yeah, they still are in some places. They still are. I just realized I have a haphazard custom tree there. It's like, note for Joel, put tree here, fix later. That's hilarious. Nice. I think that section is done. Looks pretty good from up here too. The wall doesn't really invade. It looks like it's there, but it looks like it's been there a really long time. I think this house might have to be a little bit farther back. I'm not convinced that this is enough space between the edge and the house. We're probably going to switch that up a bit. What's the building going to be? This is the apiary, so this is a bee farm. And so these are like placeholders for where we're going to put bee hives, like those. They're going to go here. And they're going to be all laid out. And I think what's going to happen here is that there's probably going to be a path coming in here. A path going around the outside. This will probably be some sort of field. Maybe flowers or something. Then this path will come in here. Path out to that door. I think there's going to be another path that goes out across this way. So dividing this section in half here. Something that probably sneaks up like that way. And that might affect the pattern of these. It might affect like how they're laid out. And then it looks like I was planning on going around the side here or something, but I don't know. And a lot of that is going to be affected by where we decide to put the house. And like I said, I think this is going to get moved back, so I don't really have a design for it yet. Oops, wrong. There. Oops. That's going to go in here. A little bit easier to see what's going on without the shulker boxes there. So I can imagine this section here, like this little L shape, could be like a balcony or something, like a little back porch. Be a pretty good view of the waterfall if we did that. So that's probably what I'm gonna do. But yeah, no real solid ideas on that yet. Pink flowers, right? Well, maybe. Depends on who's in chat. And how many people I want to make angry. Right on, folks. That's where I need to wrap things up for today. And I'll be passing along to somebody else playing Minecraft. So just let me pop over and see who's live. If you have any suggestions, by all means, let me know. I can toss that in chat. And I'm happy to send you along to someone that you want to go hang out with next. I'll be back on Tuesday. And I think we're going to be doing Minecraft. I've been pushing pretty hard to finish West Hill, but I do want to get back into Satisfactory. 1.1 has been fully released now, and so that's available for the full release. So I want to check that out and get back into streaming a couple of other different games. It's harder now though because summertime. My streams are a little bit shorter, doing some stuff outside, that kind of stuff. So you can follow me on social media. Very easy to find, Joel Duggan. And you can, of course, check out things like the Spawn Chunks podcast and the Citadel Cafe podcasts. They're both free wherever you get your podcasts. You can follow the Patreon page. It's patreon.com/JoelDuggan. Of course, very easy to find and a fantastic way to support me on stream. Speaking of support, thank you to MindTripMedia and Nicholas Cherry and Dan Grice today for the support. I really appreciate it. Y'all are awesome. And thanks for a great week. It's been awesome to have so many people in chat. We've been hitting into like the 30s and 40s, which is good for me without any raids this week, which is awesome. I'm glad people are enjoying the content. And again, you want to follow the content. Joel Duggan VODs on YouTube has the entire archive of this build. So if you're curious about different things that I've done over the years in this area, then check out Joel Duggan VODs. They're all there. And they're usually named pretty well. They're organized by year. And you can usually find what you're looking for. So if not, then I'll see you next week on the Spawn Chunks. Thanks again. Bye for now.